Awesome. So I'm not going to be your calm, cool, collected speaker. That is not how I roll. I'm the one that needs to do the exercises that Mrs. Keck was doing earlier, probably on a half-hour basis, maybe, because that's just not how I'm hardwired. I am hardwired to have so many balls in the air that I have to bring in people around me to keep all those balls up in the air. So, one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to think about what your strength is as a project manager. What's your biggest strength? What do you bring to the table? What are you confident about? Okay, I want you to think about what that is. And I have 4 people, right? And I'm going to have them raise a flag, and when your strength is represented, I want you to go to where that flag is. So blue flag, can I have you over here? Okay, so blue flag, raise your blue flag over here. Who loves details, analytical, loves to go through and do research, look at all the numbers? Don't ask you to make a decision right here and now, because I need to know what the numbers say, right? If that is your strength, I want you to get up and come over here. If that is your strength, come on, y'all. Up over here. Everybody's going to get up at some point, right? So if details are your strength, so you like numbers, quantification, very logical, very realistic, down to earth, very numerically oriented in your decision making. All right, y'all huddle around the blue flag for me. Huddle around the blue flag for me. Y'all are going to have to get closer than that now. I know that's not your thing, but work with me a little bit. Okay. All right, so those of you huddling around the blue flag are fabulous left brain oriented individuals that will help us understand what is going on with all these details. They organize the details. They manage the details. They're the ones that come up to you and say, don't forget. And you're like, yes, I'm so glad. I am so smart to have you on my team, right? These are the people that you need in order for you to manage all the details, right? This is very important. So I'm going to pick on you guys for just a second. Our strengths can become our biggest weaknesses, right? So what is our biggest weakness in only worrying about the details? What was that? Okay, it takes a lot of time to manage those details. Good. What else? Big picture. Where are we going with this? What city are we driving to? I don't know, but I know every mile along the way. Okay? So that there's one thing about minding the details all the time is that it's very time consuming, and sometimes we lose the big picture. Now, y'all stay there. Okay, where's my green flag? Green flag? All right, can I have you back here? All right, so with the green flag, who likes steps and processes? That's kind of what we do as project managers, right? How many processes did we have to memorize for that PMP exam? Yes, a lot. That's right. So said my detailed people. They like to get things done. They like to-do list, checklist. If you forgot to put it on your to-do list and didn't check it off, guess what you're going to do? You're going to put it on there so you can check it off even though you've already done it. All right? You're organized. Your sock drawer looks awesome. And they're all matched. Green. So the deal with greens is, as a project manager, what do they bring to the table? They get us organized. They help us to remember all the steps and processes. They are the ones that are going to make sure that we follow those in A, B, C order. What happens if I say, hey, go in B, A, C order? What are you guys going to say to that? What? No way. I'm not going to do that. We go A, B, C, right? What if I say jump over B? Boo! I love that. No, you're always going to do the exact order of that process. So once again, our biggest strength can also be a weakness. What's a weakness to always following the processes? Not being flexible. Do we get to work in a world that everything is predictable? No. So sometimes, if we're always following the processes, we don't see how those other things are going to affect our processes and how those might not be accurate anymore. All right? Wow, look at all the greens. We'll talk about you guys in just a second. Hold on. All right, so who has my red? Where's my red flag? Whoop, whoop. Can I have you in this back corner, please? That's right, Superman. All right, so when you were thinking about your biggest strength, relationships, building relationships, bringing the right people together, recognizing strengths in people, even if it's not in their job duty or role, you get it. You find out. You utilize it. You know who to go to for what, who puts the stuff on the top, your stuff on the top of their pile. You love interacting with people. You're good at mentoring and coaching. You like to teach as well as be a project manager. I need you in the back left-hand corner. The rest of y'all, hang tight. I got one more, so don't fret, okay? So with you guys, the red quadrant, it's kind of hard to read up there, but the red quadrant deals with people. They like to interact. They want to have a meeting. I know you guys are a little frustrated by that, but they like to have a meeting because they're face to face, right? The big thing when it comes to relationships is that they want people to want to work together because they can capitalize on everybody having their back. They are great going through Tuckman's ladder. Y'all remember that? Tuckman's ladder of forming, storming, norming, and performing. They love to get people to that performing state through good relationships. Biggest strength becomes your weakness. What is the weakness to that? What's the weakness? Takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, money sometimes, right? And then the other thing is there are going to be people who just don't like to be around other people, right? You're not going to make them like other people. It's not going to happen, right? And you will bang your head up against the wall trying to make that one person like to be around other people. And it's just not in their makeup, right? So is that the best way to spend your energy and your time? All right, so we got one more. Hopefully you guys are in it. If not, we can start a counseling session. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the last one is yellow. Where's my yellow flag? Yellow, yellow, yellow. You're going to have to truck it all the way over here. Ooh, he can run. I love it. You going to be the yellow cape? Okay. It reminds me of The Incredibles, Edna Mose, no capes. All right, so with yellow, I want you to go to the yellow area if you are good at looking at the big picture, strategizing, coming together and thinking about the future, thinking about where people can and will be, not where they currently are. You are good about thinking outside the box. You're good with creativity. You are the people who think about the future, not the here and now. All right, I'm nervously awaiting to see if there's anybody left. All right, y'all huddle around the yellow, please, so that we can deviate from the reds there. We're not going to mix our colors. Oh, are y'all choosing not to choose there? No, now you got to pick a color. Yeah, we got a little mixing of colors over here, too. I don't know if I like that. Y'all are breaking the rules over there. Okay, so this is the deal. Let's analyze this room a little bit. So who's good at analyzing? What color? Yeah, so blues. What's the makeup of the room? Talk to me about left brain versus right brain. What's the makeup in here? What do you think? Do you need more data? Yeah, okay, they're starting to count people now. Okay, just eyeball it. I know it's not. I know you're not comfortable with that, but we got to be out of here because you guys need a break at 3 o'clock. Is it about equal? Okay, so wait a minute. I kind of feel like, because they're all spread out. That's what, reds take up all the air in the room, right? So y'all, I think if they were a little bit more consolidated, we would see that, I would say, just by looking up here with you guys, that there's more people on the left side of the brain than the left side, right side. Would you say that? You guys agree with me on that? Yeah. So we have more left brain dominant. If that was your favorite thing and that's what you gravitated towards, then that's probably your dominance, sort of in a quick view. So if left brain is your dominance, that means that you tend to be more logical, thoughtful, step-oriented, want to look at a dashboard. Oh, the dashboard, that is like the bane of my existence right now. Everybody wants a dashboard. So that you can then delve into the numbers, right? So as project managers, how does left brain attributes help us? How does it help us as project managers? What do we have to do that requires the left brain? Listen to them, everything. Come on, y'all. What are the left brain dominant activities or tasks that we tend to have to do as project managers? Organize, mind the steps, look at the data, make decisions, right? Make thoughtful decisions. So, but the right brain, do you guys do that by yourself? Did you say wing it? Now that's that's what a yellow would say, not a green. Right? Would you? Yeah. They're saying, come on over to the light side over here, not the dark side. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that because it's yellow. All right, so the deal is this. We need our left brain. So the brain is really kind of an interesting thing. The brain is actually 2 lobes that is connected by something called the corpus callosum. That corpus callosum can grow or it can degrade depending on your use or lack of use of both lobes of the brain. Let that sink in for a second. So the deal is that we need to be whole-brained. Right now you're on your preferred side. My yellows over here, they are big picture thinking. They're forward thinking. Einstein was a yellow. That's right. Unfortunately, Einstein had multiple divorces and couldn't get along with anybody. Just saying. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen to you, but, right? She's like, enough. All right, so the deal is that we've got to be both as project managers, and that's why our job is so hard. Would you not agree? Right? We have to build relationships. We have to understand how people think. We have to teach. We have to mentor. Would you not agree, Reds? That's right. We have to be strategists. We have to think about the future. We have to think about our resources, or lack thereof. We have to think about the competencies and where people can be. And a lot of times be creative and think out of the box when we have problems and we don't have money or time to throw at it, right, yellows? Would you agree with that? But we still have to pay attention to the details. We have to make sure that we're making wise decisions. We have to be thoughtful in our actions. We have to look at the numbers, right, Blues? And we have many, many processes to follow. We have to make sure that we go through the process of putting a charter together and then gathering requirements for our scope statement, then putting a WBS together, looking at the network diagram and getting estimates. All of that is what, Greens? Processes, right? That's how we come up with our plan. I bet you guys are great schedulers. Are you good schedulers back there? Yeah, that's right. That's what Greens are good at. I love a green scheduler. So the deal is this. What I want you to do is, this is going to be controlled chaos right here, okay? I want you to go to the opposite. So greens are going to go to the yellow area, and the reds are going to go to the blue area. And then we're going to talk about that for just a second, and then I'll let you guys sit down. All right? So make your way to the opposite corner of the brain. Going for a little walk, right? Yeah, that's right. It's a stroll. Yellows are going to go to where the greens were. That's right. Greens are going to go where the yellows were. Reds are going to go where the blues were. And blues are going to go to the reds. No, you guys need to walk around. Hey. Because you guys need to walk. Listen, not just a pretty face. I got a method to behind my madness.
What if you do a situational leadership, right? You change based on the situation, right? And I could be a right brain or left brain.
You want to be able to flex. We're getting there. You're a step ahead of me. Yellows go to green. That's right. You got it. Yes, I am. Thank you. All right, guess what? You are now standing where your arch nemesis was standing. Why are they your arch nemesis? Red. When you're in a meeting and all somebody wants to do is talk about numbers and they won't make a decision and talk through it, how does that feel? Oh, I heard boring. I heard too, just so you know. I'm just repeating what they said, right? All right, so that's for reds. So yellows. When somebody states, oh, but that's not our process. Oh, we can't do it that way. We've always done it this way. How does that make you feel? I'm not going to repeat what they said. Sorry. Okay. My blues. When someone comes to you and says, but that's not the way I feel about it. And the people won't be happy. And that stretch goal is going to hurt their feelings. What do you guys want to say about that? What was that? Wah, wah, right? I mean, you're like, dude, it's not in the numbers, okay? And then last but not least, my process people, if someone's like, yeah, I know we're almost done with the project, but I've got a great idea. Okay, y'all heard the moaning and the groaning, okay? Y'all find your seat. Y'all find your seat. So I want you, as you're getting to your seat, I want you to remember what you said your strength was, and then what can get on your last nerve as far as the opposite quadrant, because we're going to come back around to that. Don't lose that. So we're all born with gifts, guys. We're born with them. And then we develop other gifts. Everybody in this room has gifts that they bring to the table in order to make projects happen. Every single one of you. They're just different, right? Is it a bad thing that they're different? Is it a bad thing that we have reds and blues and greens and yellows as their gift? Is it a bad thing? Could it be a good thing? So it's harder to manage, but it actually makes us a whole brain team, okay? I'm not asking you to not be you. I want you to be you. I want you to bring you to the table. But I also want you to be cognizant that there's not yous at the table as well. There's other people who think differently from you, and it's not wrong. It's just different. It's just different. But isn't that a good thing? Isn't it good to hear a different perspective and maybe get a different idea? Because we get caught in our own corner, and sometimes it's kind of hard to see the forest for the trees, right? So I want to talk a little bit about my world. So the consulting world, I never get a phone call when people are like, woo, everything's going great. We do great at project management. We are awesome, and we'd like your help to be more awesome. I have never gotten that phone call. Never. The phone call that I get is, it is going to hell in a handbasket. And we have deadlines we've got to meet. We've got budgets we've got to meet. We have high turnover. Come make it good. And I'm like, what am I, a magician? Come on now, work with me a little bit. So when I get a phone call, people usually have great people who work for them, but they're not gelling. They're not working together. They're working against each other. I'm sure that would never happen where you work, but let's pretend outside of where you work that happens pretty frequently, right? So the primary reason that I see is that a lot of really good technical people, technical is left or right brain? Left brain. Very good technical people, the halo effect happens. Do y'all know what the halo effect is? That means, hey, if they're good at this, they'll be good at this. That's like saying, hey, if you're good at tennis, you're going to be good at basketball. Really? Why wouldn't you be good at both of those? They're both sports, aren't they? Why couldn't you be good if you're a fabulous tennis player, never played basketball a day in your life? Why couldn't we put you in the NBA? Different skill set, right? It's a different skill set. So now the people who were really good at what they do, now they have to make a bunch of people do stuff. And that requires what? Not just hard skills, but that requires soft skills. You said it, not me. It requires soft skills. And that's not something that necessarily a technical person has developed, because what are they? Left brain. They haven't had the opportunity to really develop those soft skills. Now, the other thing happens where we have somebody who's really strong with the right brain, relationships, getting people together, making people work together well, building teams and that kind of thing, but what are they missing? The technical skills, right? They don't know how to build airplanes, or they don't know how to make new tires. That's not what their gift is, right? So what both sides need to do is they need to build a whole brain team. A whole brain team means that we don't hire a bunch of us's, we hire a bunch of not me's. That's what I look for. When I put a team together, I got the communication and the people skills down. I got that. I need a bunch of not me's. I need a bunch of people who have the technical skills, and then let's build those relationships together so that they have each other's backs, right? If you're good technically, what should you be looking for? Someone on your team that has what? good soft skills, solid, just ingrained soft skills. Now, that doesn't mean that that is your get out of jail free card, my friends. You can get better at both. I have definitely gotten better at soft skills. Hard skills. And I've seen great technical people gain soft skills. That's the fabulous thing about our brain, is that it can learn. We can learn what we need to know in order to make our team a better team. But it starts with you understanding where you are, okay? And not getting irritated at that person whose gift is across catty corner to you, because that's gonna be your natural inclination. At work, the person that gets on your nerves the most is probably the person that is catty corner to you on that brain scale. It probably is. If you think about it and think about what they do and how they articulate things, that's probably the person that is catty corner to you. So if you're blue, it's probably going to be a red, and vice versa. If you're yellow, it's probably going to be a green, and vice versa, right? You know what's weird? Fun fact, that's usually who we marry. We usually marry somebody that is across from us on that. Why? Why do you think we do that? We're self-punishing individuals? No, what? I'm just kidding. Why do we do that? Opposites attract. You've heard it. Opposites attract. We marry people the opposite of us because to get through this life, we need to be whole. And we're just part of it. Okay? So, at home, somehow we make that work, I hope. At work, though, you want to kill that person. Doesn't that make for an interesting study? So, this is the deal. When we talk about someone who brings gifts to the table and then we ask them to use other gifts, they have to have a ramping up period. You have to have a learning cycle. And that's one of the things that I'm hearing as a thread throughout all of these different things, whether you're being mindful, all of the different things that we've talked about today, is that figure out what you're good at, but be mindful that we can't be project managers by ourselves, my friends. We do it in a group. We do it in a team. We do it with other people. And so we've got to learn how to make those people be the best that they can be. So I'm gonna tell you a little secret about me. You and my, 200 closest friends, right? So I am a geek for physics. I love physics, and it's not just a Sheldon Big Bang Theory thing. It's a little bit deeper than that. I have always watched Nova, and I really just love that people who are a whole lot smarter than me have figured all this stuff out. And if they can articulate it to me in words that I can understand, all the better, right? And I just think it's fascinating, especially theoretical physics. There is one thing in physics that we learn, and it's inertia. So if you look over here or here on the board, we have a property of matter by which it continues an existing state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line. The big word there is unless. Unless that state is changed by an external force. So if you have problems on your team, do you think that they're just going to magically go away? Poof. They'll just, if I don't pay attention, they'll go away, please. Is that how it works? No, it's not. You have to be the external force. You have to be the external force for change. Now, I always say in project management, when we're talking about, training for the PMP and that kind of thing, I tell people you have to pay attention to change management, because in project management, we're in the business of change, right? Every time you do a project, you're changing something. Would you agree with me on that? So we're in the business of change, and if you don't plan for that, then you've fallen down on the job there, because we have to understand that most people do not love change. Why don't they not love change? It's disruptive. I know how to do this. I don't care if it's better or not. I don't want to do it a different way. Good. Why else might we not like change? It's uncomfortable. What if I don't have a job after this change? What if you don't need me anymore? What if I can't learn it? Those are real fears that people have when we initiate change in an organization. So when we talk about inertia, things will stay the same unless there is a catalyst. A catalyst is something that goes in and stirs it up, or trains them up, or mentors them, or has conversations with them in order to facilitate change, right? So when we talk about the things you cannot change, let's be real for just a second. On a project, what are some things that you just really don't have a lot of power to change? Budget. Look at that. It's the first one. I knew somebody was going to come up with money, right? So budget's one. What else? Our digs. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't you like to work there? I would. That looks really cool. So we can't have cool offices. I don't work at Google or Amazon, so I can't have a bed in the side of the wall where I can go lay down after lunch. They have that in New York at Google offices. I'm like, what? Go take a nap? Are you kidding me? I can't change the benefits or the things that the company offers, and I can't change time a lot of times. So when I'm trying to affect change and someone says, I can't get it done in that time, or I need more money, or gosh, I wish our benefits, or we had a cooler office, there's not a dang thing that I can do about that. How about you? Can you change that? Yes or no will do. Yes, no. Still working on my mind reading. Y'all got to work with me a little bit here, right? So what can we change? We can change engagement. Engagement is, I care about you, and I'm going to talk to you on a regular basis. According to SHRM, I'm not making this up, it is the number 3 requirement for people on the job. Does that cost you any money? Does it take extra time? It does, okay? But it's something that we can bake into our everyday conversations. There are 4 conversations your employees want from you. There's 4. If you get good at these 4, sky's the limit. People want to know, what am I supposed to be doing? Number 1 question. So that's goal setting. Number 2, am I doing it right? What is that? Praise. Number 3, am I doing it wrong? Redirecting behavior. And number 4, what am I supposed to be doing next? If you can get good at those 4 conversations, you're way ahead of most other project managers that I know. That's a Ken Blanchard, 1-minute manager, situational leadership, iconic first-time manager thing. Have 4 conversations on a regular basis with your team members. What am I supposed to be doing? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What am I supposed to be doing next? Those 4 conversations. That's engagement. You can be productive in engagement. Now, which side is going to do that naturally, my friends? Yeah, the right side. The right side may think about doing that naturally. So what can the left side do in order to bake that into their everyday conversations? Amen. That's funny. So yeah, put it on a list of things to do. Hey, I need to have a conversation about goal setting with blah, 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 right? Don't make it once a year, please. It needs to be regular conversation. Once a year conversation about how you did and everything you did wrong, that is not engagement, my friends, okay? What could the blues do? What could the blues do to kind of bake that into their everyday conversation? I'm sorry? One more time. Specs? Facts. Bring in the facts. That's okay. I know. You have the cute accent. I know her. It's okay. It was killing me. So bring in the facts, right? But still engage in that conversation. Good. But that's something that definitely needs to happen. Being transparent. So that doesn't mean that you have to tell everybody everything all the time. What that means is that when people need information from you to do their job, that you give it to them. That's what transparency is. All right? Career advancement. That is the number one thing last year in 2017 in that SHRM response that they did. The number one thing that people think about when they're taking a new job is their career advancement where I'm applying. Number one thing. Number 3 was engagement. Number 1 was career advancement. Is there a place for me in the future here? Respectful treatment. Being respectful. Understanding that people are people. We tell people to leave their emotions at the door. Can we do that? Can you do that? No. So we have to use emotional intelligence to say, ooh, she doesn't act like this all the time. Something must be going on. So I'm going to let her simmer down a little bit, and then we're going to have a conversation. That's being respectful. All right? So respectful treatment. That comes with trust, which is the next one. Building trust. Making sure that people trust you and that you can trust other people. That typically happens through positive interaction. Can you rebuild trust if you've broken somebody's trust? Can you do that? You can, but it's a whole lot of work. You're going to have to work double time to rebuild that trust. All right? Who's going to be least apt out of left or right brain to build trust again? Or to trust somebody who's broken their trust? That's right. Left brain people are like, I'm done with you. Not, that's going to be a tough sell right there. It can be done, but you're going to have to work really hard to do that. Job security. If I take this job, am I going to be able to keep it? Right? Opportunities to use your skills. If you think that people on your team don't have other capabilities and skills other than what you're using them for, then you're crazy. They have lots of skills and capabilities, and it changes constantly, and so you need to be polling for that and utilizing that on your team. Being flexible. Who's going to be our most flexible one? What do you think? Right, which one? So I would say probably if you could build a relationship, reds will be more flexible, but by nature, yellows initially will be flexible. They're probably initially going to be a little bit more flexible, okay? I'm all about being flexible at the beginning of the planning stages, but when we get towards the end of it, enough already, right? Let's get her done. We've got a plan, let's stick to it. So usually, yellows are good at strategic decisions, thinking forward, and then I would like for them sometimes to take a back seat and not come up with any great ideas when we're doing QA testing or we're at the end of our rope. I'd like for them to zip it, okay? I say it in a nice way, though. All right, so flexibility, stress. How do we deal with stress at work? Y'all just learned some cool little tricks to deal with stress. So implementing that, helping people understand, you might need to go work on some of those stress relievers that we learned at the PMI symposium, because I'm seeing some of the symptoms of that as you yell at me or snap at me or get upset at me, etc. Opportunities for training and development is the last one. So these are the things that are important to individuals in order to retain them. This is what's important. So let's think about this for just a second. I have always heard, word on the street is, right? I've always heard that it cost 1 year's salary of the individual that you recruit, hire, and train in the first 6 months. It costs 1 year's salary to do all of that. What do y'all think about that? Would you agree with that? Okay? Especially if they're moving here from somewhere, forget about it. It's probably going to be 1.5 salary. So, isn't it easier to engage in the things that keep people here rather than say, oh, well, they're going to go, we'll just get somebody else. Think about that, my blues, as far as the numbers go. The deal with this is that all of these are facilitated by soft skills. Soft skills are things that we use in addition to your technical skills in order to help people understand why you need them to do what you need them to do, right? When we talk about soft skills and when we talk about developing soft skills, what do you guys initially think of? Yell out some different things that you would consider to be a soft skill. Empathy. Good, I like that one. Facilitation. Diplomacy. Building trust. Did I hear accommodation? Is that what I heard? Okay. Influencing. Good. Listening. Teaching. There's a lot of soft skills associated with being a project manager. Now, when we study for the PMP, y'all remember studying for that? That was a bear, wasn't it? So when we study for that, is that primarily what we study? I want to meet the people that wrote that PMBOK because I'm pretty sure that they're green. How do I know that they're green? First of all, that crazy numbering scheme that they use, and they very process-oriented way that project management is described. Would you agree with that? Yes. Very process-oriented. My green's in the room, not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that is that really the whole brain way for us to approach project management? What do you think? We got green covered in the PMBOK, but where are we supposed to get blue, yellow, and red from?
That's why screens came out with PDUs.
Send them to class after it, right? That's funny. So when we are looking at these, let's talk just a little bit about different soft skills. Let me check for time real quick. Okay, so different soft skills associated. Wow, that font's really small, isn't it? Sorry about that. I'll bring my picture out so that I can see it. Wait for it, wait for it. Okay. So when we talk about these soft skills, things like team building, we also have leadership skills, emotional intelligence, executive presence, writing skills. I think that could be both left and right, in my opinion, because there's technical writers as well, yeah? Presentation skills, public speaking, communication, negotiation. Did we use any of that stuff in project management? What do you think? Just a little bit, right? Yeah, we do. So that's the major part of my day as a project manager, is all of that stuff. Do y'all remember that fun fact that 90% of our overall time in project management is spent in communication? That's exactly right. Soft skill, right? So do we need to use soft skills? What do you think? Yeah? We need both. We need technical and soft. And we also, guys, this is kind of the kicker here, we also need to make sure that when we have somebody on our team that is the opposite, that is the not us, that we appreciate what they bring to the table and utilize it to its fullest potential. So if you have someone who's great at soft skills, let them use those soft skills. Have them do the presentations. But does that mean that you shouldn't have other people do it too? I think that's a great learning opportunity. What do you think? It's a great training opportunity while we're getting work done, and that's the key. What we're looking for here is we're looking for a whole brain approach. We don't just want blue, we just don't want green, just yellow, or just red. We want a whole brain approach to project management. You have a gift that you bring to the table. Now you know what it is. You know what color, what corner you are in. And you also know that the opposite corner might get on your nerves a little bit at work, but then you're going to be attracted to it outside of work. I'm not sure how that happens, but that's what the facts say. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take, you guys have a pretty good number of people at each table. There is a couple of tables here that only have 2. Maybe you could pair up with the other table. I'd like for you to have at least 4-ish people involved in this. So as a wrap-up, what I'd like for you to do is I want you to walk out of this room with an action plan. I want you to think about what color you were and how on your team and within you are going to develop some of these other quadrants that maybe you aren't utilizing at this point in time. So take just a couple of minutes. I want you to talk with the people at your table, because they might give you some additional insight, especially if they're another color than you, ideally. And you can talk about, maybe what color you are. Then at the table, I want you to come up with an action plan of developing one other quadrant, probably the quadrant that you feel like is your weakest area. So for instance, blue is definitely my lowest number on the HBDI scale. And so paying attention to details, I have this little blue bear that I always have in my briefcase to remind me to pay attention to the details. I'll be honest with you, I use software a lot to help me pay attention to the details. If it doesn't go on my calendar, it doesn't happen. If it doesn't get put on a schedule, it doesn't happen. So that's one way that I shore up that weakness is through technology. So think about what area do I think that I need some help with, and then we'll come back together. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to do this, and then we're gonna come back together and we'll talk about some things you can do. Okay, so my blues in the room, give me an action item. Actions always start with a what? A verb. Right? It's action. We do something. So verb noun format, give me an action if you're a blue in order to work on one of the other 3 quadrants. Blues? Yes, ma'am. Chill out. I like that. Chill out. Chill's a verb, isn't it? You can actively chill, right? Yeah, I'll take that as a verb. If it's not a verb, we will make it one for you. All right? Good. What else? You're still analyzing. Okay. So stop analyzing. Would that be verb noun? Okay. What else? What else can blues do to get better in one of the other 3 quadrants? Reach out. I like that. Reach out. Engage with other people, right? You don't have to be an extrovert to engage with other people. That's another big misnomer that, oh, well, I don't need to talk to other people because I'm an introvert. You can talk to other people. Some of the best instructors, trainers, speakers I have ever known have been introverts. Now, they'll give their speech up here and then they'll go into a room somewhere and throw up. But they can do it. It just costs them energy, right? Like, I'm gonna get done with you guys today and say, I gotta go ride a bike, or I got too much energy going on because you guys gave me all your energy. I mean, that's what extroverts get energy from people. Introverts, it takes their energy. And that's okay, but you just need to know how to refill your cup. All right? A lot of blues tend to be, it's not an absolute, but they tend to be introverts over extroverts. It's not an absolute, though. There's definitely blue extroverts. Give me one more thing. Yes? Okay. Okay, so what he said, in case you guys didn't hear, was in low-risk environments, to kind of put yourself out there and create something within the team to have them engage. So that, is that accurate? Builds confidence, yes. So start small and kind of go from there in a low-risk environment. Good. All right, so greens. My greens in the room. We had a bunch of y'all, so I have big, high expectations for you here. So greens, what can you do in order to stretch to another quadrant? Encourage team members. Good. That's awesome. What was this back here? Okay. So I will tell you this. Greens and blues tend to be problem solvers. So what that means is that when you just want to just let something out and go, oh, you know, my car's driving me crazy. Well, what exactly about that car is driving you crazy? Well, maybe we could fix that. Well, I have a toolbox in my car. Should we go look at it? I mean, they're problem solvers. And you just want to just say, my car's just driving me crazy. I don't really want to work on it. So that's good that you just let them vent. Just let it out there and you just listen to them. And just nod your head and smile. Mm-hmm. Your car's driving you crazy. That's good. Okay. Yeah, and just let them vent. That's all some people need to do, right? Just get it off their chest. All right, give me another one. In the back. 5? Oh, 5 minutes. I thought he was going, me. Okay. Okay, simplify. So he's still working on the processes, just saying, but simplify them. Okay, I'll take it. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, there we go. Now let's talk about relationships before we get to the things I want to talk about, right? Processes. So start with a relationship builder. All right, my reds in the room, what can you do to flex to another quadrant? Focus on the results. Nice. Your blues will really appreciate that. What else? Focus on the details. You can do it, reds. You can do it. You can focus on the details, right? It may steal your energy, but that's okay. Go fill your cup somewhere else. But that may be what they need from you, is to focus on the details. Good. Give me one more thing. What else? What else can reds do? I had a bunch of you guys back here. Come on now. Good. Understand what the big picture is. Don't go visceral and just start making decisions all over the place. Understand what the strategy is and go towards the strategy. Your yellows will really appreciate that. All right, last, my yellows in the room. Tell me what you guys can do. Yes?
When you paint the big picture, start in their corner.
Nice. I like it. So when you're going to show them what the strategy is or the goal or the big picture, give them what they want. Give them steps. Give them details. Talk about how it's going to affect the people. Those 3 things are going to help them understand where you're coming from. Good. Got another one? Any other yellows? Create a schedule. Your greens will love you for that. It'll be painful, but you can do it, right? All right, give me one more. One more. My yellow's in the room.
Give the why.
Okay, give the why. So tell them why you're changing. Usually yellows want to know why, but other people maybe tell them, in their language, here's the details of why, here's the process of why, here's how it affects other people, why. Maybe that will help them understand where you're coming from. All right, so this is the deal. Your takeaway from this is that you have an action plan. Do we all agree now that you need soft skills in your toolbox in order to get stuff done, regardless of whether you're right brain or left brain dominant? What do you think? Anybody want to argue with me? You got 3 minutes. I enjoyed having you guys, and I think that all of the different messages that you're getting from today, I think that you guys will take all of this, and I'm hoping that you'll understand it from these 4 different quadrants. We have all of this in us, right? We can't walk and chew gum at the same time if we don't have all 4, to some degree. We've just been talking about what your dominance is, but understand that other people will have other dominances, and that's okay. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make them crazy. Okay? It just is a different point of view. And we need that on our projects in order to be successful. Thank you, guys.